My name is Marshall Comstock, and I live at 932 North Mountain View in Moscow. And Mr. Mayor and Council, I feel real good about being here tonight and speaking a little bit to you about the budget. I came tonight to show general support of the 2018 budget. I think that the staff did an excellent job looking at our city needs and the council goals and goals of previous councils and previous mayors and all the things that go along with the strategic plan and the comprehensive plan. There's a couple of specifics tonight that I would like to showcase a little bit. One of them is I would like to show support for the funding of the 3rd Street multimodal bridge. This is a project that I really feel should have happened 15 or 20 years ago. When you look at the approaches to the bridge, when there was some reconstruction done along the creek, they also, about 20 years ago, redid those approaches in preparation for a multimodal bridge over that. We look at the way the city is growing now. Most of our city is growing towards the east and towards the north, and everybody's accessing Mountain View Road. When they hit Mountain View Road, their choices of how they're going to get across town are limited. Right now, we look at White Avenue, we look at 6th Street, look at B Street, we look at D Street, look at F Street. But there's over a third of a mile distance between 6th Street and 3rd Street, or 6th Street and B Street. Right in the middle of that lays 3rd Street. And with the growth of our city and our traffic demands getting across town now, I think it's about time that we open that bridge up to multimodal transportation and spread that traffic around and through our city, and so that we're not focusing all of the traffic on 6th Street, B Street, and D Street. One of the things, too, that we really should look at is public safety and convenience of our traffic and our pedestrians. It's tough for a kid to have to go clear down to 6th Street or B Street to get somewhere in the middle there, say Lena Whitmore School. What if there was an emergency call and they had to get across town quicker? It gives another avenue of safety for our police and fire and ambulance. Another area of the budget that I'd like to show support for tonight, I was very grateful to see there was some small funding moving on towards the Mountain View Road project. That was a project that started over 25 years ago about reconstruction, filling in ditches, doing sidewalks, making the road much safer. I noticed that there was a small amount of money in it this year and that there was more funding proposed for the next couple of years through city funding and through grants. So I was very happy to see some of that. I'm in support of the proposed bond, even though it is not specific for any purpose right now. I have faith in the council that you will meet the needs of the city and the strategic plan with that, and so I'm happy to see that move forward.
Marshall, I'm going to have to cut you off.
One last thing.
Okay.
One concern I have is that in the same year that we had a full 3% property tax increase, we're trying to go out for a bond. I really feel that perhaps the sewer and water increase in rates should maybe be put off or lessened. So.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you for your time.
One thing I'll point out, too, that 3% increase in property rates that we looked at this year, that money is going to go right into streets. $157,000, $158,000, that's what we looked at. So, thank you, Marshall.
Victoria Seaver, 121 North Lilly, Moscow. So how do we come to a reasonable consensus for a balanced budget? I believe in the strength of diversity with its multi-layered insights and decisions. Strategically, this includes input from the field. Everything from wastewater treatment to spreadsheets to website transparency, from our police, legal, and shops, from planning, development, and commissions, from grounds to staffing, and the list goes on. I see how we're working with planning tiers for major challenge areas. The city refers to a citizen survey and compares trends, listens to public hearings and public comments, attends and offers workshops and presentations, and communicates one-on-one with members of the community. We have the opportunity to avail ourselves of these venues at multiple levels. The council distills it all as a partner for economic prosperity and community values. It's a big job. It takes open ears, foresight, and good counting fingers from the whole team. I'm satisfied with the proposed budget. That also applies to the proposed bond we'll vote on in May. I do reserve the option to challenge points as we go. But aging infrastructure must be managed, essential services must be supported and updated, and dedicated and skilled workers must be valued through wages and the working resources they need to do the job. Water isn't as plentiful as we have a habit of thinking it is. The aquifer is declining while people in enterprise make more demands on it. For starters, we have to treat it right and maintain its conveyance systems. Gratefully, our city workers, through their initiative, are creatively using and repairing the city fleet to increase their lifespan, securing grants to significantly extend available funds, and initiating cost savings, such as lessening solid waste through single-stream collection and promoting xeriscaping. Our volunteer fire crews save us insurance costs. We need those fire trucks to meet those criteria, not to mention saving property and lives. Those are just a few examples for the budget and the bond. I would add, now that we're spending out the Hamilton funds, I'm thrilled we're using the remainder to get basic playgrounds and access for our many undeveloped parks. I absolutely support green spaces. So let's take this budget and run with it, and we charge you to leverage it for the best results we can get together. I thank everyone working for and with the city for their efforts.
Thank you, Victoria. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that $10 million bond that we've been talking about, there's going to be all kinds of public input with that as we go along. When we get it identified and what we're going to use that money for, there is going to be a lot of community involvement in it. So we'll have a number of different events that will happen with that. So, Ken.
Good evening. Kenton Bird, 517 East B Street. Mayor and council members, thank you for your service. I know and appreciate the time that you spend on city business, especially in preparation for this budget hearing. I'd like to make two brief comments about the budget. First, I am concerned about the proposed $10 million bond issue. In particular, I oppose the city's decision to proceed with a new police station and or the lease purchase of the federal building unless and until the council resumes conversations with Latah County about a joint law enforcement center. Some of you in this room, including several in the front row here, remember extended discussions with the county more than a decade ago about providing a shared facility for the Moscow Police Department and Latah County Sheriff's Office. Those negotiations stalled for reasons that were never clear to the public. It's now time to revive them. We have a new sheriff, a new police chief, new commissioners, and almost an entirely different city council. I urge you to work with your counterparts up the hill to come to a plan that meets both agencies' needs. As you saw in the pie chart earlier, Moscow taxpayers are also Latah County taxpayers. Our elected officials should work together to be sure that tax money is spent efficiently. A new police station should go hand in hand with a new sheriff's office, jail, and law enforcement dispatch center. Second, I know others will speak tonight about including money in this budget for the 3rd Street Vehicle Bridge. Calling it a multimodal bridge does not change the fact that this bridge, if it were built, would undercut the main east-west corridor for bicyclists, which I use regularly. I oppose putting money for the bridge in this budget. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Ken. Oh, by the way, I was on council 10 years ago when we talked with the county, and the county was the ones that chopped us off, Kenton, because I was a president of the council at that time. We were very much interested and they cut us off. So if that, so there you have it. Well, it's 3 different guys. You're absolutely correct. Hi.
My name is Randy Roush. I live at 536 South Mountain View Road, which is the intersection of 6th and Mountain View. So on a day-to-day basis, I look at the cluster of traffic every day. when I first moved there in '95, 6th Street did not go on through. And we negotiated with the city, the developer, and myself, come up with a plan where we traded some land. I mean, this was nothing to me, but I was glad to do it for the greater good, to let 6th Street come straight on across instead of meandering in the intersection. Now, I think everybody needs to put some of their personal, not in my backyard feelings aside and put the 3rd Street Bridge in, you know, for the fact that there's going to be another development east of Mountain View, as well as just the convenience of getting on through. It's to drive around that area forever has been kind of ridiculous. Anyway, that's my soapbox.
Thank you, Randy.
Nels Reese, 308 South Hayes. You probably wonder why I'm coming to this meeting tonight. I'm your memory. As I turn 80, that's all I've got left is memory. Chances that I'm going to beat somebody up in the ring are pretty limited. I want to remind you of your comprehensive plan. Just want to read a couple lines from it. These are things we've all done this before. Special areas of the community character are going to be protected. It says objectives: protect existing neighborhood identity and character. Now you can tear this sheet out of your comp plan, and in my mind, if you decide to do the 3rd Street Bridge, probably you should tear it out. We only have one historic neighborhood, really. It's not a better neighborhood than the folks on Comstock and the folks over in Indian Hills, and all those are wonderful neighborhoods. If those folks had 500 cars driving down their street, they would go ballistic. We, 3rd Street, 6th Street, D Street, we all have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 cars a day. We know about traffic. We have them. Preserve and enhance special areas of the community to celebrate the community's identity and character. Just think about it. I mean, I should probably just tear it out right now, but I won't, because this is my copy of the comp plan. Number 2, I'd like to just mention to you that we've been talking about this for a long time, and in 2007, the council chose not to do this. I realize that we're growing, and things are going to change. What I want to let you know is that we have 380 people signed up against the bridge, 380 people, not all living on 3rd Street, of course. There's only about 30 or 40 of us living on 3rd Street. So we can provide these to you tonight. Secondly, I just want to think about the identity in this comp plan of collectors and arterials. We had a discussion the other night at P&Z, and Les seems to have trouble telling the difference between a collector and an arterial. I doubt that you have that same problem. I think we all kind of know what it is. And we know that all these streets going through our neighborhood here are collectors. They're big collectors.
Nels, you're going to have to wrap it up. Your time's about up.
So I just wanted to let you know that I think this is a wonderful budget. Gosh, you've worked hard on it, and I compliment you on it. It's impressive. That one little part that if there wasn't 15 or 17,000 cars looking down 3rd Street, it would be a different issue. Think about that tonight.
Thank you, Nels.
See you later.